A very good morning, a good evening, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, whatever place it is. You are tuned on to the Life Signatures Radio. Life Signatures podcast is actually a daily show where I talk about purpose, productivity, and resilience. And I do believe that all those three pillars are pillars of life for every human being. What is life signatures? Basically, it is approaching life from the angle that you are sent to do something, and that thing that you do is your signature on the face of the earth. Your signature is not necessarily your name and all that stuff that you've acquired. It's your impact, it's your contribution, it's your mark on the face of the earth. And you cannot get to that particular place if you do not have purpose, if you do not have productivity, and if you do not have resilience. Well, today we are coming to a close of a series that we started. Not really a series, but the mini series within the larger series. We started talking about work, and we started talking about how man, the human being, has 6 psychological needs, and how work helps to meet those psychological needs. It's gonna be interesting even as we come to a close. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Life Signatures podcast with Lawrence Namale. Lawrence is a life coach, author, and keynote speaker who loves to tackle different topics on purpose, productivity, and resilience. His mission in life is to awaken all your boundless possibilities available in you. Life Signatures podcast is dedicated to bring to reality every single person who knows that deep down in their gut, there's got to be more to life than this. And now, here is your host, Lawrence Namale.
It has been a journey and a half, and it's still continuing even as we talk about the subject of work. So the 6 psychological needs, I got to hear these 6 psychological needs from none other than Tony Robbins, and probably he's the one who has popularized it, and probably someone else came up with them. But these 6 psychological needs are important, and I have looked at them, and each and every one of them is something that every human being needs. It's our needs. Number 1 is the need of certainty. You need to be certain. I mean, basically that's why very many people are looking for jobs, because they are looking for certainty. They're looking for income, certainty. They're looking for, what do they call it? Residual income, that I'm going to be sleeping and money is going to be rolling in. That's not just money you're looking for. The thing behind the thing is the thing, and the thing behind the thing is certainty. You and I are looking for certainty when we are looking for jobs and all that stuff. And I have said that when you look at both genders, males and females, the women, they get into relationships, especially when they want to settle down and want to get married. The first thing on top of their minds, even if they will not admit it, let me tell you, it is certainty. That's why they are looking for guys with deep pockets and big cars. Yeah, I know they'll stone me and so on, but you cannot run away from that. Women looking for certainty. Even men sometimes look for certainty as far as relationships are concerned. But how is certainty going to be fulfilled through work? When we work, there are different ways in which certainty comes. First of all, there is certainty in terms of the immediate income, especially if you're employed and if you're running a business that has products and you have a clientele base. You know for sure that money is coming at a certain period of time. That is a form of certainty. And I can not see any other place, by the way, where a human being will get their certainty if it is not from work. If you know of another place where they can get certainty, someone will say, oh, I'm going to get certainty from God. I'm going to get certainty from worshiping God. Okay, you go ahead. Stop working. Go worship God. Tell me how that goes for you. God himself says, get out of here, go work. Go and work. He says, if man shall not work, man shall not eat. In fact, the first commandment for man was to be productive. You cannot be productive without working. You cannot be productive by just lifting up your hands and worshiping. Get a grip. Go and work. That's where your certainty is going to come from. God is not a fool to have said we should work and then expect us to worship and get fulfillment from worship alone. And I've said in another series, especially in the general series of work, I've said that one of the most spiritual things about work is that it is spiritual. One of the biggest things about work is that it's a spiritual thing, and we don't approach work as if it's spiritual. That's why some people will never want to hire Christians, but I'm winging this. Secondly, the other psychological need is uncertainty. That is variety. You do not want to be having a boring life. You want life that is filled with new things, surprises, challenges, things that are probably impossible, that you want to go and dare and to do them and to win and to conquer. And guess what? Your life's work provides this avenue. I mean, an idea drops into your mind and you scratch your head. You want to make sure that you see the completion of this idea, but you don't have money, or you don't have the necessary resources in terms of human resources. You don't have the expertise. You don't even have the time. You don't have doors open for you. It's a challenge. It's variety. We need that in life. Imagine if everything, and this normally happens, if everything is just provided for you. You're living a bored life and a disengaged life. So certainty is there, but there is also uncertainty, which is variety. And guess what? You get variety from work. Go to your work and they have piled for you something, and I have stories upon stories where I have found variety at work, and it's exciting. It's always exciting when you conquer some milestone at work. And it's always boring when there is no milestone to conquer, and the things that you're doing is maybe in a kind of just rubber stamping, and the whole day you're doing rubber stamping. No engagement in your mind and no engagement in your spirit. You're not even alive. You don't come alive because there's no variety. You're going to walk out of that job, by the way. Sometimes the need for variety supersedes the need for certainty. In other words, I'd rather get out there and be jobless for a minute, or look for something else, even if I don't have something, income that is guaranteed. The third thing that we talked about that work brings to us is what we call significance. This one goes without saying. It's a human need. It's a human psychological need for us to feel significant. And I'm going to talk an appendage to it today. If you want to feel like you count. You want to feel like you, and that's why, by the way, very many people go to very many places trying to do very many things so that you can be accepted by people. You try to dye your hair blue, red, green, and so on so that you can be accepted. You put millions of rings on your body. You do tattoos and you try to acquire things and so on. It doesn't give you significance. The most fleeting thing in trying to get significance is to try to buy something, even if you have the money. But significance is provided for by your work, especially your core work or your life's work. When you engage at it, you get significance, even if it's not your core work. Every time you're given an assignment and you fulfill that assignment, and it has your signature on it, it has your name on it, it has your impact on it, it has your blood, your sweat, your tears. That's significance right there. People are looking for success and so on, but success is always fleeting. You can never be crowned as a success until you die. And when you die, guess what happens? Significance is what is going to be talked about. Not success anymore. So significance is what we talked about. And then the interesting thing, psychological need, is love and connection. Love and connection is something that we all want. But this one is not directly provided for at work. But there are some people whose love for work caters for this. But it's uncanny. It's seemingly uncanny right here. But let me tell you this. The person who is working has an injection in their umph, in their ante, in their spring, in their step, Even when they are going to buy flowers for her or for him, even when they are going to meet them, they have money in their pocket. They're not thinking. They're not stressed because of the date. You get what I'm saying? So their love life is oiled to some extent because they have been working and now they have the proceeds of work. Okay? So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that one. But then whatever we talked about yesterday, the fifth thing, the need for human, the psychological need for humans is growth and development. This one goes without saying. We want to grow, we want to develop. And guess what? I don't see any other place. Apart from adversity, apart from setbacks, apart from crisis, I don't see any other place where you get to grow and to develop other than work. So you can see work is an important thing. It serves our psychological needs, at least 4 psychological needs so far directly. Now let's finish with the 6th. The 6th one is what they call contribution. Contribution. We want to know that I did something that made a difference in someone's life. I did something that made a difference in someone's life, and there are very many ways that contribution comes in, but I can tell you the root, one of the roots, let me just say it's not one, but there are several roots, but one of the roots of contribution is work. Of course, another root is a giving attitude, but work is what creates so that you can be able to have, so that you can be able to contribute. You get what I'm saying? We have talked about this, that work provides the highest sense of fulfillment, even more than religion does. I kid you not, my friends, I kid you not. And a sense of contribution is something that is offered directly through your work. First, the work itself might be a form of contribution or a form of giving back to society one way or another. You see, when organizations are talking about corporate social responsibility, it's a big thing, it's a big buzzword, by the way. Even though you're not being paid, sometimes your work might be contributing. You feel fulfilled when you're contributing. Think of the feeling that people have when they invented the mobile phones. Think of the feelings that people had when they invented any technology that contributed to the advancement of the human race. That is just not a feeling that you can pay enough. That is not just a feeling of wealth. It is a feeling of contribution. There's nobody who can pay you enough for feeling fulfilled, for contributing. But work is the conduit through which you contribute. We all have that feeling in our lives. If you wanted to gauge and see if you are engaged in your ultimate work or not, check and see if that part, this feeling, this fulfillment, this human need of contribution is being catered for. It is catered for specifically by our contribution, especially if we're engaged in our core work. But it's not limited to our core work. Any form of work has an element of fulfillment because we are contributing. If not, if you're not having that feeling, then you need to keep looking to locate your purpose. So, as you can see, friends, work covers 5 out of 6 human psychological needs. I tell you, God is smart to give us work. We have these needs, and these needs are going to be catered for by work. Not because you married a rich husband or a rich wife. Not because you inherited some stuff. These psychological needs are directly catered for by work, but not any other thing. Any other thing, let me just give you a warning. Any other thing that you're going to engage yourself in, guess what it's going to be? It's going to be fleeting. It's going to be here today, tomorrow it is absolutely gone. In fact, have you ever been in a situation where you go and you've always been dreaming of an iPhone? I want an iPhone. I want an iPhone. Immediately you get the iPhone, guess what happens? The feeling of emptiness comes alongside the feeling, these fleeting feelings of, I'm happy I have an iPhone. But there's something missing and you know it. That thing is always going to be provided by when these 6 psychological needs are met. Number 1, certainty. The iPhone doesn't give you the certainty you're looking for. Number 2, uncertainty. Probably the iPhone might. Number 3, it's going to give you significance. Number 4, love and contribution. Number 5, growth and development. Number 6, contribution. Those are the 6 human psychological needs. And work, smack in the middle of them all in serving us. Tomorrow, we're going to continue talking about the subject of work, but from a totally different angle. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, work. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Life Signatures Radio. If you enjoyed today's show, subscribe to Life Signatures Radio on iTunes, Stitcher, or visit our website at lifesignatures.libsyn.com. Life Signatures Radio, fresh, clean, and inspiring.